We are live. Welcome to my video. This is going to be my thoughts on The Walking Dead Season 4 Episode 2, Infected. The episode is rated TVMA, so will this video be. Like all other videos I've done on the show so far, absolutely love this episode. There will be spoilers for the episode and all the ones leading up to it. Yeah, let's dive right in. So as usual, a lot of really compelling stuff here. Yeah, holy crap. The thing with, I want to say his name was Patrick, the fanboy of Daryl, yeah, it got even worse than, like, I was not expecting him and the ones he infects to kill that many, and just, yeah, holy shit. Okay, so yeah, and now they know there's a virus, and yeah, it's true. Sometimes it can, there's the thing about, maybe the pigs gave it to us, maybe we gave it to the pig, just, I don't know. I mean, some people don't need the fucking swine flu to be a sick pig, but genuinely, I'm deeply concerned for the future of these characters, and yeah, like, okay, so they know that there's the infection now, but how are they gonna treat it? They don't really have the resources and the circumstances to really, yeah, give it the kind of treatment that it calls for. Let's see, yeah, and the ending there with, so if I understand correctly, basically the did they burn each other and themselves, or did somebody else do it? It's, yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but one of those. And yeah, with all that blood, like, clearly the infection was taking hold. Again, still talking about the ending there. Let's see. I think that covers that. Yeah. Carol trying to help, and the thing with, yeah. We'll have to amputate your arm, and then she finds the marks on the neck, and it's like, okay, we're gonna have to amputate your head. This is going to be a little bit more difficult than we're used to. And genuinely, like, the thing of, like, the daughters coming in there, and yeah, he's like, Carol, please, they don't have anybody else. Please take care of them as if they were your own, which I guess means he wants them to get left behind, turned into zombies, and for Rick to shoot them in the fucking face. I mean, if okay, who are we to argue with the words of a dying man? I'm not gonna lie. When I'm sorry, all these names. Lizzie. When Lizzie had the knife and was, like, clearly struggling, I really worried that she was going to try to, like, stab Carol to prevent her from killing, to prevent Carol from killing her father. Just, yeah. And yeah, she doesn't manage to, and Carol says, "You're weak." And I think they're doing a really good job of, like, walking that line, because she's starting to cross into, like, that's the kind of thing. I'm sorry, I do not remember his name. I'm not sorry to him. He was a piece of shit. Sorry, to the show, and to the actor. He did a fantastic job. That's the kind of thing that her husband said to her, so, yeah. And I do appreciate her sister standing up for her. She's not weak, she's messed up. And yeah, I mean, she straight up has a panic attack. Understandable under the circumstances, but I appreciate the show going there. And yeah, them standing right there while Carol finishes him off, like, fuck me. Yeah, let's see. I think... Right, I like Carol talking to Carl. and yeah, she's like, we got to get on the same page here. Our characters have almost the exact same name. O is the only letter that separates us. And yeah, he ends up telling Rick. And Rick isn't going to tell the parents. So, yeah. And yeah, Rick, like, good thing he didn't go full John Wick with how deep he buried the gun, because that might prove to be a problem in the current situation. But yeah, unburies the gun, puts on the belt, and yeah, it looks like his farming days are over. And the thing with like the fence and the they are getting increasingly aggressive, and I don't think they did have any other choice. That was the only way to save the fence and thus the prison. Yeah, he drives. Yeah, Daryl drives him up there, and he has to sacrifice the pigs, and not only let them die, but he has to like cut open so so there's blood, so that the walkers will go for it aggressively enough to get them away from the fence so they can reinforce it, and just like fuck. So glad that I know that they did not cut into an actual living pig. When we see him cut, we're only seeing part of the pig, and yeah, there's a little movement, but it's like fuck, what's the word? Mechanical, like yeah, it's a special effect. It's not we see real pigs, and we see the fuck. Yeah, I do not remember the name, but yeah. And there's one part where you see the real pig, but it's like CG blood. It's digital blood that's spraying. And yeah, there at the end, some of it sprays right on his face, just to really, literally rub his face in having to give this up. Yeah. I think that does... Yeah. So devastating that they're not going to be able to be near Judith for a while. Judy. Let's see. So there's obviously Michonne left. Is there anything else that I wanted to comment on? I think that might cover... God damn it, I feel like there's one... Right, yeah, Daryl, Daryl, the barrel handler, and the point about, okay, wear gloves and a mask, which, like, just especially puts the anti-mask crowd in a bad light. If fucking Daryl Dixon will wear a mask and look so badass during it too, how can you not? Just like, I thought he couldn't look any more awesome than he already did, and then the fucking, like, he looks like he's about to rob rob a stagecoach during Wild West or something. Fuck me. Yeah, I don't know. I have my masculinity is threatened. I gotta give him a mean nickname or something. Okay, from now on, the actor is Norman. Read us a story, because he is like a good, caring father. Yeah, that doesn't work. No, seriously though, always happy to see, both the actor and the character. Right. I like Carl. He's trying to help however he can, making crosses. And was he a Catholic? He was an active atheist. So yeah. And having to get up really early because that's farm life. And what was the other thing? I know there was one more thing, and then we'll talk Michonne. Yeah, the thing, you know, I'll do this. Well, I could do this other thing. I meant we'll do this. Yeah. Yeah. Michonne. So, you know, the thing about, you know, I'll try to find some comic books from old M&Ms. You're the only one who likes old M&Ms. I'll make sure to get some then. I'll find something for you too. Just... I'm sorry. I love fun Aunt Michonne. I really just, like... I mean, if you think back, at the start, when we first saw her, she was this, like, stone-cold badass, said very little, and just completely focused on, you know, killing zombies. And now, just, like, you know, I'll get you those comic books you like. You can stay up late tonight if you're good. Just, yeah, absolutely amazing. Like, one of these episodes, Rick is gonna, like, sit her down and be like, Michonne, I'm sorry, but I'm really trying to get him to not eat candy so late. I want us to be a unified front on this. But yeah, you know, she returns really quickly, and there's some struggling with the door, and, you know, falling over, and it just, yeah. They did manage to stop, and just such a badass with with both of them. Two badasses with guns, you know. Let's see. And yeah, I continue to really appreciate it's genuinely such a good idea of them to use I forget what they're called, but the thing where a zombie will get impaled if they get, you know, yeah. Right, at one point one of the zombies, like, pushes face up against, or I guess is pushed, maybe, up against the fence, and, like, eyeball pops out and is cutting into the skin. Awesome. Yeah, as usual, really great violence and gore. I don't even need to ask. It's ridiculous. But when, you know, I think it was the first guy that Patrick attacks, that we see at least, you know, he like leans, he's like sits up on the bed, or leans something, and like his guts start spilling out. You know, I don't know, he just couldn't keep the secret any longer, and like, I know it's ridiculous, but seeing that, my thought was like, oh, I hope he doesn't fall on the floor, because that might hurt. Look, I can explain myself, okay? It's because I can't relate to, you know, guts spilling out like that. I play my cards pretty close to the chest. Yeah, fuck. I can't say that with a straight face, but, you know, I can imagine what it might be like to fall off the bed and hit the floor, so, yeah. Yes, so, Michonne, yeah, minutes after she's had the bandage, you know, wrapped around her ankle, she's, like, doing, like, exercise. Michonne, never change, please. I'm just kidding. I love the character growth on this show, but that just, yeah, pure, unadulterated, unfiltered Michonne. Yeah, that's a weird lullaby. I sing what I feel like. I feel like it's better than Ashes and a Cradle Fallen. She's not wrong. Like, it's one of those weird things. If I understand correctly, basically, let's see. Ashes, we all fall down. I guess that's what it's called. If not, certainly you know what song I'm talking about now. Feel free to be a smartass and put the actual title in the comments if you want to be a jackal about it. Yeah, yeah. So that's one of them, and yeah, we already know because she said enough to deduce what the other one is, if I understand correctly. Because like Ashes, we all fall down. That's like about the fucking plague or something, you know. And yeah, you know, the thing with Cradle falling from the treetop. Really morbid, really messed up, you know, both of these songs are. if I understand correctly, it was basically there was a time where infant mortality was so high, and child mortality also, that yeah, people started singing these, or kids started singing "Ashes, Ashes, We All Fall Down," and the other one became a lullaby, just as, like, it's like dressing up as a witch on Halloween night. It's a way to, like, try to confront the darkness so that it can't control you so much. But to still be singing them today does feel really messed up now that, the mortality is, although thanks to Republicans in some places it's risen, and if if vaccines genuinely do become, like, illegal, I guess, or at the very least not at all, not as required as they have been. Fucking, I really hope we get to a point where it's just not legal to have a position where you can affect how science is applied to law if you are a science denier. But yeah, it's messed up to still be singing them, and I don't know. I'm pretty happy with Beth's choices, and she's a good singer too. So I don't really see a problem. Michonne's reaction to Judith. There is definitely a story there, and I look forward to finding out the details, because, like, I get, like, okay, crying baby, a lot of people don't want to be too close to it. At the same time, I mean, that's your friend's kid, though. Like, it's one thing if it's, like, a stranger on the bus, which, like, in that position, like, think about it, could be God. What if God were one of us? And, like, Yahweh is supposedly very quick to anger, so yeah, like, the idea of him being a human baby is somewhat comforting, considering what he does when he gets angry. I'm just saying we wouldn't like him when he's angry. Yeah, I feel like there's a story there, and also, like, no, I don't want to hold the baby, and Beth is like, are you fucking for real right now? I mean, she wouldn't use those exact words, but, like, yeah, like, dude, seriously, and she does end up relenting and holding the baby, and you see her face, and just, like, yeah, I don't know if she maybe lost a baby to walkers. Maybe her baby was, like, bitten and she had to kill it so it wouldn't turn, or something. But yeah, there's definitely some story there that, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I like Carol talking to Mika and Lizzie at the fence, and kind of, yeah, making it less, yeah, it is one of those things, like, sadly we know people who survive abuse can sometimes end up abusing others, and that is something Carol has to keep an eye out for. Hurt people, and bite people. If you haven't already watched Dracula's Ex-Girlfriend, it's amazing.